Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today I'd like to kind of walk you through the boatyard a little bit and talk to you about how I really feel it's important to come here at least once while you're shopping before you narrow down the boats you're looking at. When you look at my videos and I do the walkthrough, I think having any human in the video helps see how tall the ceiling is and how big the shower is, but you really don't get a sensation of the depth of the space. So the feedback I get from a lot of people when they actually get on a boat for the first time after watching the videos is that the smaller spaces are smaller in real life and the bigger spaces are bigger in real life than it seems on video. And you won't know what really works for you until you come here and walk through a 49, walk through a 53, walk through a 58. Until you've been on the boats, you don't have much context for the videos. So we're just south of Tampa, Florida, north of Sarasota. What seems to work best for people, especially this time of year with the thunderstorms in the afternoon, is come in the night before, stay at a local hotel. I'll meet with you at 9 o'clock in the morning and we'll go have lunch and you'll be done. And during that time, I'll get you on all the boats that make sense. At the moment, I have 16 Marlow Explorers here. They're not all for sale, but I can get on most of them. There's a couple brand new boats here. There's boats that are just in here for service, and of course there's ones that are here for sale. But if you spend 4 or 5 hours here with me in one day, over the next few months as you watch videos, you'll have a lot more context for what you're looking at. This is our headquarters office, and right here I have a conference room with all the engineering drawings. I have access to my service department here. So it's really a good place to come and learn about the brand. Let's walk out here on the dock too. This is the entrance to our facility. It looks a little narrow, but with a baluster and thruster, it's really not bad. Out this way, you go around up toward the Skyway Bridge and then out Tampa Bay and out into the Gulf of Mexico. It's really a nice protected area. This is our large haul out well here. I can haul a 100-footer here. We have 3 travel lifts here, so it's a very busy yard. We do a lot of maintenance on the boats, and of course we do all the new boat commissioning here. Let's walk around the boatyard a little bit and I'll show you around. These tarps you see on the ground are there for when we do a bottom job. The bottom paint is not great for the environment. So what we do is we cover the ground, do the bottom job, and then wrap up and dispose of properly all the bottom paint residue. Over here's our carpenter shop. So, we've got table saws, band saws, planers, sanders. It's where I'd refinish tables and things like that. We don't do boat construction here, but we can repair pretty much anything. We do a lot of modifying cabinets, adding shelves, fixing damage to teak work. That's mostly what goes on in here. Actually, above us is the parts department. So we have a pretty good parts department. We stock the things we think we're going to use a lot. There's 2 full-time people up there, and they got all the AC components and steering components and all the stuff would make sense for us to stock. This over here is our mechanical guy's shed. Boatyard workers tend to be either on the carpentry side or the mechanical side. And this is more the mechanical side. So these are the guys that would work on exhaust systems and change impellers and service generators and all that kind of stuff. Open range here is probably our nicest, newest 58 on the market right now, and it's an enclosed bridge. Really beautiful boat. I'll do a video on that soon as well. True North is here for sale, in great shape. Come see it. And this new boat here is the one you may have seen in the boat show videos and stuff. This is David Marlow's 65, the Avalon. This is interesting. I want to show you this while we're here. This is equipment that's about to go to the factory. So this wire is going in a boat. This resin right here is oyster white gel coat that's going to become the superstructure of a boat. There's a washer and dryer. It's going to the factory. Here's some that's a Garmin radar array, some antennas, and 2 C-18 engines. I think these are for the next 70 we're building. So we do our best here at Marlow when we're building a boat to source things in the US. Of course I could buy wire in China. Of course I could buy the engines in China. But when we buy this equipment and we buy this gel coat here in the US, we know what the quality is. And if we do have a problem, we know who the vendor is to go back to when there's a warranty issue. So we're doing our best to try to buy everything we can here in the US and ship it to the factory, and it comes back on the boat. It's also very interesting from a tariff perspective. You know, all this tariff stuff you see in the news. All of this stuff does not count as coming into the US because it came from here. So it really helps us out with the tariff situation. Another great thing about coming here is seeing a boat out of the water. I can't explain this without you standing here thoroughly, but being able to see a stabilizer fin and just get a sense of the volume of the boat. And probably the biggest difference with a Marlow Explorer versus other boats are these keels. Nobody else does this. So this boat is sitting on its own bottom. Let's see if I can find another boat that has keel damage. Very common for these keels to be missing paint and even missing fiberglass, and the props are still okay. Let's walk around the back and see if we can find another boat up here. Here we go, very typical. Those keels make you brave. So if you're in the Bahamas, you want to get up in that cove, you'll do it because you know you can get away with it. You would never do that on a sport fish with exposed props.
Good break.
Morning, Phil.
Good morning.
There you are. I'm looking everywhere for you.
Oh, yeah.
This is a 53 E 2022 for sale, relatively new listing. A lot of you have asked me about teak and varnish. A lot of the newer boats are coming in with no varnish to do, and we can put this finish on an older boat as well. I know quite a few of you are following Encourageable. We had it out of the water for a couple weeks, cleaning the bottom and doing some maintenance. It's back in the water now, AC's on, ready to show. This is a really nice 58 as well. It's a 2020, one of the newer 58s available. If you've been looking at a 58, it's a great time. I have more choices in the brokerage 58 market than I've had in the last 2 or 3 years. So there's quite a few boats on the market of different types and configurations. So come see them and see, what you like best. They're quite different from boat to boat. Let's walk out to the main dock. That's the Marlow 90 here. We're doing some hull waxing and stuff like that. And this is the 70 C'est La Vie. We're doing some buffing and waxing and stuff. Kind of a sister ship to Encourageable. This is our main haul out well. I do most surveys here. So when we do a survey, we do what's called a short haul. And that means we lift the boat, we put it here, we make sure the bottom's clean. I probably cleaned it the day before, but we make sure the bottom's perfect. The surveyor goes around tapping on the hull, and he's tapping on the hull to make sure that the sound is consistent, to make sure there aren't spots that sound different. And if they sound different, why do they sound different? Is there a problem with maybe the boat hits something and there's a soft spot in the hull or something like that? So that's why a surveyor goes around and taps on the boat.
Lifetime tank, sure you ain't going skinny dipping there.
Namaste, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. The 53C came on the market recently. We just finished a bottom job. It just went in the water day before yesterday. That's probably the best deal on a Marlow right now. If you're looking to get into this, in that lower $1 million range, that 53C is a really nice boat. The guy that bought it, it needed some attention. He spent a couple years really bringing it up to speed, and now we just finished the bottom job and she's in great shape. So this is our main, what we call our L dock. Most customers come and go from here. The Manatee River in Bradenton, Florida and Sarasota, Florida are down that way. And then out here's a little bay that leads to Tampa Bay, that leads to the Intercoastal Waterway and or the Gulf of Mexico, depending on where you're going. St. Pete's about 15 miles from here by water. There's no bridge from here to the ocean. So once you're here, your only issue is shallow water, and you just got to watch where you're going. Hope this helps, and I just really want to encourage you guys that have been following me and looking at the boats, please come here. Let's walk through some boats together so I can understand kind of what your target boat is. And I don't think you can know that until you get on some boats. Feel free to contact me down below, and I'd love to meet you here in the yard. Thank you very much.